MP summer breaks could be cut short if Labour wins as Reeves eyes an early budget. We're going to read into this exclusive from iNews, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Regan Elite here with an exclusive from iNews with the headline of MP's summer break could be cut short if Labour wins as Reeves eyes an early budget. A shorter parliamentary recess could help Labour demonstrate momentum in the first 100 days, insiders has suggested. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. Now, obviously, cutting the MP summer break is not something MPs would kind of want, but at the same time, it's like, well, you know, we've had 14 years of chaos, and the country's feeling a little bit crap right now, so we kind of need you to work a bit harder this year. I'm sure you can compromise on this. Now, obviously, whether Rachel Reeves is going to introduce an early budget this year, if they come into power, if she becomes Chancellor, is another matter. I can see her introducing a mini budget, but I can't see her being able to do so proper budget. And the reason why is because it would just take too long for her to do so. She will probably introduce a proper one next year, most likely. But I can't see one being introduced this year. I can see an early mini budget maybe coming into play. Phil from A Different Bias has dismissed this, saying that there wouldn't be any, that they just wouldn't have the numbers and the time to be able to do it. Maybe they will, maybe they'll not. Only time will tell. But I think that they really need to, if Labour do come to power, whether a majority or a minority government shared with Lib Dems or SNP or whatever it might be, they need to kick the ground running pretty much for sure. And July is not, like, when you think about it, July is not an ideal time as well, because you're literally like going into the summer holidays, where it's normally after July people go off and do their thing and whatnot, go and enjoy life and whatnot, kind of say, go on holidays and whatnot. Yeah, that's not going to be the case with Labour, because they're going to be like, they know when they go into power, they're going to have to work their absolute sock off. Straight off the bat, they're going to be working their socks off. So any plans for like holidays and whatnot, yeah, that's going to change quite dramatically. So I could probably see, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them, like, say, they could maybe, I don't know, maybe if they could hold off on their breaks, some breaks, and maybe have their breaks, I don't know, in October or something, I don't know. But definitely, if Labour want to really hit the ground running and make a difference, they're going to need to definitely show it. 100 days, it's a lot of pressure to show things. But let's read what they have to say here. So, senior Labour figures are considering cutting short MP summer break in order to demonstrate momentum in the party's first 100 days in government if it wins the election. Several insiders have suggested to the Eye that an early end to the summer breaks is under consideration, as the party will only have around 5 to 7 sitting days of Parliament following the King's speech, which would likely take place on the 17th of July, following the 4th of July election. This leaves enough time for Labour to introduce new legislation before MPs go off on their summer breaks, which is usually in the last full week of July, but risks breaking up the momentum of new Sir Keir Starmer's administration if the party takes power. The Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves on Tuesday made clear Labour would not hold an emergency budget before Parliament's summer recess, because the Office of Budget Responsibility requires 10 weeks' notice to provide a forecast before any physical event. She repeated her previous promise that she would not hold an event without such a forecast from the physical watchdog, leaving mid-September as the only possible date for the first Labour budget. This is why I do think they will have some kind of forecast budget around that time, just so that we can see exactly where things are. And then they can make a decision on what they do with things from there. So I can definitely see that. MPs usually come back from the summer break for 2 weeks before the party conference season, which begins on the 14th of September. But insiders have told the Eye this could be extended by cutting short the summer holidays early. A source close to the Shadow Cabinet said there could be an early recall before the traditional end of the summer holiday. Now, Marine Standard suggested that this could come straight from the August bank holiday on 26th of August, saying summer recess will go ahead, but it might not be as long as usual, as it could sit longer in September to get more pieces of legislation properly underway. The insider said you could come straight back after the bank holiday weekend and have a few good weeks before the conference season. The whole thing is about 100 days. It's about keeping up momentum. You can't really rush through legislation in these sort of timeframes anyway. A source close to Shadow Commons leader Lucy Powell, who's working on legislation for the first 100 days of the Labour government, insists she was fully focused on the election and that they don't recognise suggestions of cutting short MP's summer break. We're counting down to the days to the election, not counting our chickens. Lucy is preparing the King Streets and legislative programmes, and our thoughts may well turn to that, but not now. Interesting. I definitely think that they are definitely preparing the King's Speech without a shadow of a doubt. Now Keir Starmer knows that this right now, it's in the bag right now, according to polls. Now, it's like I've said before, like just because the Conservatives have started off really badly doesn't mean they're going to stay that way throughout the whole campaign. It can change, and it can possibly change. I know it's unlikely, and some people may think the comments are a bit daft from me, but in this world, never say never, you guys. You know, it is not a shoehorn for Labour, that is for sure. But it is interesting to say the least that there may be a possibility of this. Now, the Eye would not be reporting this if they didn't have credible. I will say that the Eye would not be reporting this if they didn't have some credible sources to this. But it is entirely possible as well. But it is a short one anyway, for say the least. But we'll have to keep an eye on this. It's entirely possible that they may come to fruition if they come to power. But time will tell. What do you guys think? What do you guys make of the possibility of MPs cutting their summer break short? Would it make sense given the current situation that the country is in? Given that we need fundamental changes as quickly as possible because they want to get things done in the first 100 days if they come to power. Do you agree with this? Let me know your thoughts and more in the comment section down below. If you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. And subscribe because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. Or join me on Rumble, Facebook or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.